Alright, gonna start the recording of the Sotek Sentries versus the Norgard Warlords. The Chaos win the roll, but they choose to go second, which is interesting to me. Or they choose to receive, I should say. Oh, there we go. There's the flip. That was weird. This is a deeply strange Chaos setup. I mean, hell, if you blitz this guy, you can push him onto the sideline and then bully him. Alright, perfect defense. I find it weird that's the only thing he does. Like, he leaves this Beastman basing a Crocs. Okay, so one thing I gotta point out here. If you started with this guy hitting this guy instead, you could have pushed him to here and then had a follow-up block, and you could do that on both sides because he's spread out. One of the main downsides to spreading out like he did is the fact that you give your opponent easy follow-up hits. So, like in the future, it would be easier to just hit this guy this way with this piece, and then hit him again. He can't threaten your ball the way that he's set up, so I guess not even a concern. Boneheads can happen. Oh, now we're going to do the follow-up hits. I don't really like that follow-up, but I guess if you're just trying to bully. One thing, too, about this setup is, like, you didn't really need 4 skinks back here. And if he'd gotten a blitz from where this guy was originally positioned, he could have made a 2 GFI blitz into this guy, which you really want to avoid. Alright, we're going to see a lot of basing here by the looks of it. Is he going to blitz you with the minnow? The screening isn't really effective because it's only 1 deep. Yeah, there goes the minnow. That's going to be a 1. No, it's 2 dice. Oh, right, he has horns. Somehow doesn't break armor. Wow. Damn. Yeah, rolled a 5, needed an 8. Okay, so a couple things here. You could easily put a skink right here and 2 dice this asshole. I'm not saying that's the proper move, I'm just saying you can. With the way that he's set up, though, you could pretty easily just switch sides. All of his players are pretty tied up to this scrum. Your skinks could easily come over here. I don't know if that's what you do. I'm just saying that that is what I would do. Paucity. could have 2-diced this asshole. Oh, that was a risky 1-dice. Also, I feel a need to point out here, if that had failed, this guy, let's see, 1, 2, well, no, he couldn't get through, but he could hit this guy and then base the ball. But you got a bit lucky there. That was just a casual 1-dice that you got a loner reroll on. I would not be playing like that if you could avoid it. Ooh, nice wild animal fail. Armor still holding. Giving him a lot of blocks, though. Although, granted, I think he can only do one good one here. And it's bolt down. Which he stuns himself on. Okay, well then. So there's a lot of blocks you can do here. Definitely stand your players up first. Stand your player up first. Always stand your player up first. Because 2-dice with a big guy are very dangerous. You have a 1 in 9 chance of just failing entirely. Yeah, I don't hate that. One thing I will note is before you made, if you had failed this dodge, this guy could have 1-diced your ball. No, it still would have been a 2-dice because you only have 1 assist. So you just gotta be careful with stuff like that. Oof. T-guard of the sea. This next game. Decent Appo, risky Appo, but I don't hate it. Ooh, that was good. Kind of confused why he didn't blitz with the Minotaur there. Oh my god. Bad turn for lizards. Already down 2 Saurus and you win 2-0. Okay. Don't start with casual 2-dice from a Crocs. That stands a really good chance of failing. There we go. 1 in 9s. That's why we move our players before we make 2-dice without block. He doesn't really have any... Actually, he could easily 2-dice your ball carrier here. Easily. Now he made it more difficult for himself. Look at this guy, just goes boom. It's not even a... No, he's not going to go for the ball. Okay. The armor breaks are just a rolling. He had some pretty atrocious luck in the last set of turns, though. 2 Saurus go out from casualties, and then you 1 in 9 with a reroll, which is like a 1 in 70 something. Now he's just basing you up. Not a great position the lizards are in. Whoa, casual 1-dice loner. Who KOs the guy. I mean, that was so risky, it was incredible, but goddamn, that was so dangerous. That was straight up just a 1 in 6, or sorry, a third of the time that dice roll would have failed, and you have loner. gotta admit, I don't really understand the point of this. Like, even if... This is just... I don't know why he started with that block, but he could have just easily just done a 2 dice here just by repositioning this guy, then hit your ball, or... No, wait. Alright, so the easiest thing to do is do this 2 dice, then you reposition this player down here, knock this guy in, and then he just 2 dices your ball with this guy, right in there. But instead he starts with a Crocs, or sorry, Minotaur. Fails Loner, ends his turn. That's why we never rely on big guys. Like, he's still in a really good position, though. And just a casual 4+ Bonehead into a... Don't do first action hits if you can avoid it. Especially when you're down so many players. I legitimately don't understand how you managed to hold on to your ball here. I guess I'll see shortly. Okay, the ball is ridiculously unsafe. Alright, so I feel the need to note again that this is a really dangerous cage. All he really had to do was just move like this Beastman over, 2 dice this guy up, and then any one of these Beastmen can 2 dice your ball. I don't think he's going to do that though, but he could. Okay, he's going to 2 dice that guy. Knocks you down. Nice, now he 2 dices your ball. And fails to knock you down. If I was him, I would have used a reroll there, but... Because now he's not going to be able to stop you. Because you're skinks. Yep. That was risky. Again with the loner. It worked out, but goddamn. Some real dangerous plays here that work. And then where's the ball going? Okay, that's not even safe. He can literally just 2 dice your ball. I mean, I know, like, there's not a whole lot of options you have because you're down so many players already. Like, you're down 2 Saurus on turn 3 or something. Ooh, I would not have rerolled that. That was your last reroll. You let your Saurus lie on the ground since he's already basing a Claw Mighty Blow piece. Yep, casually 2 dices the ball. Has a follow-up 2 dice. Fails that too. You got lucky there, at least. The armor didn't break on this poor Saurus. But yeah, I wouldn't have rerolled that both down. Like, it's against the guy that doesn't even have Mighty Blow, and you were already basing the Mino. It's like whatever at that point. Just casual 1 dice. I love it. One thing about that play that I do have to point out is you totally could have not done the GFI there and been completely safe. Like, it would have been very difficult for him to actually hit you there, and you could have pretty easily failed that GFI. not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of when I'm facing a team like this, just hiding all your players on the back line. You don't need to give him extra hits when he already has 3. I think he's planning on going after your skinks. Now that is a super unfortunate kickoff event because it actually gives them the ability to walk around the back and hit your skinks. Now, one thing he could have done here was he could have actually spread out and gotten follow-up hits. But he didn't, so that's good for you. Also, he didn't do the safest block first, which is actually, oddly, the Minotaur in this case. Man, these skinks are lucky. Ooh, down goes the Saurus. And he's fine. Aside from the one turn, your armor's holding pretty damn good, and like your luck with 1 dice rolls, and you've had some pretty damn good dice rolls this game, which makes up for your previous game. Alright, he stays down a player, so you actually have the player advantage now. Or is it 10 on 10? He still has 11. Oh, he had a one-man bench. That's why. Ooh, a free reroll. Excellent. This is a very strange setup on his behalf. And he started with a pickup, which is super risky when he doesn't have sure hands. I would have started with like the block hit maybe, but... So you actually still have kind of the strength advantage here, just because you did Apo the one guy. It was a greed Apo, but it worked. Oh no! Ah, just a stun. Okay, so... One thing to note about this is he's actually pretty out of position, in all honesty. I mean, he does have the player advantage, but you actually kind of have a slight strength advantage. And the lack of Mighty Blow means you can pretty easily base and not really need to worry about it. Oh yeah! Aw, no Kaz. I do like that. That was a good play. I like that slightly less, but I don't hate it. You could totally base his ball here, I think, which you're... Oh! GFI failed. I would totally still make that one move. These guys back here are irrelevant. So you can base that guy. Oh! Dub Skull! Into... Oh! Oh dear. Ooh, that is why we do not start with hits that do not have block. Been a lot of 1 and 9s this game. Remember what I just said about not starting with hits that have 1 and 9s? You should also not start with hits that do, especially with a loner. Alright. Alright, you are all over that ball, which is great. Oh, you should have still stood up this Saurus, though. You were going to get hit over here anyway, but at least you tie up the extra player. Saurus getting beat up. Alright, what's this Beastman gonna do? He's gonna throw the ball. Yep. And... nope. Oh, that was a 6+ throw. Oh yeah, he's in 3 tackle zones. Okay, so do not start with the Crocs. That's why we don't start with the Crocs. Your loner rolls have been incredible, by the way. Just absolutely mind-blowingly good. They will not keep up, though, so stop making loner blocks first. Alright, we can pick up this ball now. I would screen it off first, but you got it anyway, I guess. Okay, that was way riskier than a play you needed to do. I'm just gonna pause. Nope, can't pause before it does it. There we go. You could have just left, like, screen up here and just hand off to this skink. I mean, I know you wanted to score on that guy, but that was really risky. It worked out, though. Alright, we got 2 players out. His KO's finally returned, so... he's got the full 11, I think, now? Yep. Actually, he has the full 12. His bench is back. I think it... oh, no, he didn't even move anybody. One thing I probably would have done would be separate these 2 Saurus out a little bit. Like, yeah, he's going to be able to 2-dice you, but if he had set up players right on this line, he'd be able to 2-dice your skinks pretty easily this half. We don't like people 2-dicing skinks, especially with block. Again, like, just starting without the block player when he had a block player available. Yeah. Gotta be really careful. You've both rolled an absolute inordinate amount of 1 and 9s. But yeah. That was your blitz by the looks of it, so... we get 1 2-dice with block, which you have block. And I'd basically just protect your skinks at this point. I mean, even if he scores once, he's not going to be able to score twice, so... I would definitely protect the skink who just leveled. Putting him there is not safe. This guy can easily walk around back and hit you. He doesn't, though, but he could. Wild Animal failed. That was untimely for him. There's been some pretty bad dice in this game for both of you, but he's had absolutely atrocious luck with several of these players. Especially the Minotaur. Although I guess you did also fail your Bonehead this turn. So both of you didn't get your blitzes. Just casual 1 dice. Do not threaten this player's life when he just leveled. Put this player in front. Ah, there we go. That's fine. He's not going to score anyway. He only has 3 turns, and he's all the way back there. Alright, Chaos turn 14. The Minotaur decides to play along this time. Kind of. No, not really. Leaving him in a pretty bad place, actually. Now he's just completely gummed up. There's literally no way he's going to score. Not in 2 turns. You're going to get an absolute buffet of blocks this half, though. Or this turn. Oh, interesting. You don't have any skinks in the area, though. I would 100% 2 dice that Minotaur. Oh, that guy's dodge. I wouldn't be against sending a skink at the ball right now. But yeah, maximizing the 2 dice is probably a better proposition. Still no Kaz. Most of your lizards are just completely opposed to Kazling things. I'm not gonna lie, I would probably foul that guy. Just to see if you could stun him. After the blitz, of course. That is a great scatter. And that's basically the end of the game now, because there's no way he's getting that ball back. Ooh. Oh no, this is skink that leveled. Ah, but he's just KO'd. I'm betting you were kind of clenched in there when that happened. Alright, so we got a 2 dice here, and then he can go pick up the ball. And it's good, actually. But he only has 2 turns, so he's not anywhere near scoring range. I don't even know why he scattered the ball there. He could have picked it up if he had... Well, I guess never mind. He rolled a 1 anyway, but... Okay. And that's basically that, aside from the last bit of punching. Okay, then. Start with the block guy. Use the block guy. Man, even against AV8, you just can't seem to get the pain. Like, 0 casualties? That seems a bit unlikely considering the amount of hits you've done this game. But apparently it's the thing. Ooh, this was almost 3-0, I see. Okay, so one thing I will say, like now that you've gone for the play and the ball's all the way up there, you might as well send this guy up as well. That way, if this guy goes down, which I'm assuming he does, you would have the option of picking it up with the other player at least. And yeah, because there's the POW. He can still only blitz one player, so... And of course he gets injured. But just badly hurt, so... At the end, you were never punished for your early appo. Oh, but he picked up the ball too. Okay, you probably weren't going to be able to get that even if you did send him up there, so... Two dice with block. And then a two dice without block on a block. Still gets a POW. Unfortunately, your Saurus just refused to get casualties. Not really sure why he dodged out there. I mean, I guess it was preferable to getting hit by Mighty Blow. You could have made this a 3 dice before you did the hit, just so you know. You only need 2 assists on a Crocs to make it a 3 dice, which you could have done. So, in the future, especially when you're just trying to maximize dice, always give 2 assists to your Crocs whenever you can. I love the turn 16 foul, and just a stun. But yeah, I mean, the game obviously went really well. You made some seriously risky plays, and you basically were never punished for the most part. Aside from the fact that both of you rolled a ton of 1 and 9s. But yeah, it was actually, like, it was quite well played. You did keep your eye on the ball for the most part. So, definitely well played, and you definitely deserve the win. But you gotta be careful when you're making those really risky 1 dice, especially when you don't have block. I mean, you made at least 3 1 dice with loners. Or sorry, 3 1 dice with loners. And those were not safe. So, you just gotta keep that in mind that it's almost more likely to, like, you have just as much chance of succeeding as you do turnover when you make a 1 dice without block. So, but yeah, it was a good game. So, definitely well played. And, yeah,